The morning light spills softly through the curtains. A gentle breeze stirs the lace, carrying the scent of fresh tea. The house is quiet, except for the slow rhythm of a ticking clock. Eleanor sits by the window, her hands wrapped around a warm cup. She watches the garden wake, dew glistening on petals, birds fluttering by. Her body feels slower these days, her knees a little stiff, her back slightly bent. She sighs, remembering the years she used to walk freely under the sun. Those morning walks had once filled her with peace, with lightness, with joy. But lately, each step feels heavier, as if time itself holds her still. Her grandson once mentioned a gentle stretch called knee-to-toe bends. He said it was easy, safe, and perfect for someone her age. Eleanor smiled then, but she never tried it. Today feels different. The sunlight seems to whisper a quiet invitation. She finishes her tea, places the cup down, and takes a deep breath. Her heart beats calmly, yet there's a spark of curiosity. Maybe, she thinks, movement can find me again. Maybe stillness isn't the only kind of peace. And with that thought, Eleanor slowly rises from her chair. The floor feels cool beneath Eleanor's bare feet. She stands still for a moment, her fingers resting on the edge of the chair. The room is bathed in pale gold light, soft and forgiving. She takes a slow breath, letting the air fill her chest and settle. Her knees tremble slightly as she shifts her weight forward. "Bend your knees a little," she murmurs, recalling her grandson's words. Her voice sounds small in the quiet of the morning. The first bend feels strange, almost foreign. Her muscles, unused to this motion, protest softly. But she doesn't stop. She bends again, gently, then rises onto her toes. Her heels lift, her balance wavers, and she steadies herself with a laugh. It's a fragile sound, but there's warmth in it. The third time, she finds a rhythm. Down, up, and breathe in, breathe out. Her legs begin to remember. Her body starts to hum with life. There's no rush here, no pressure, only quiet motion. Each bend feels like a whisper to forgotten parts of herself. The small pop in her knees doesn't frighten her anymore. It feels like a door opening after years of silence. Her arms rest lightly on the back of the chair. Her gaze drifts toward the window, where sunlight paints the floor. She imagines each rise lifting her closer to that light. The movement becomes less about stretching and more about awakening. She feels her blood flow, her heart beating with purpose. A gentle warmth climbs up her calves, her thighs, her spine. Her breath deepens, smooth and even. The stiffness that once anchored her begins to fade. She remembers how her grandson had smiled when he showed her the video. He had said, "It's easy, Grandma, just like breathing." And now she understands what he meant. It's not just exercise. It's presence. It's listening. It's kindness toward herself. She pauses and lets her hands fall to her sides. The air feels lighter around her, the world a bit more open. She closes her eyes for a moment and sways gently on her feet. There's music in the silence, a rhythm only she can hear. She thinks of her garden, of roses and lilacs waiting in the sun. Maybe later, she'll walk there again just to feel the earth. But for now, she stays here, bending and rising in slow motion. Each repetition feels like a soft conversation between body and soul. Her feet press into the floor, her toes reaching for balance. Her heart whispers thank you with every beat. When she stops, her cheeks are warm, her breath steady. She leans against the chair and smiles to herself. This is how it begins, she thinks, not with force but with patience. And in that small, simple moment, Eleanor feels something return. Not youth, not perfection, but peace, the kind that moves gently from her knees to her toes. The next morning arrives soft and quiet. A silver mist hangs outside Eleanor's window, wrapping the garden in calm. She moves slowly, still feeling the echo of yesterday's stretch. Her knees ache faintly, but it's a gentle kind of soreness. The kind that whispers you moved and that mattered. She fills the kettle and listens to the sound of water coming alive. The steam curls upward, carrying comfort through the kitchen air. Eleanor hums an old tune, one she hasn't sung in years. Something about the rhythm makes her feel young again. After her tea, she walks to the same spot by the chair. The wooden floor feels familiar now, like an old friend. She places her palms on the chair's backrest and takes a slow breath. Her reflection glints faintly in the glass of the window. She catches the outline of her posture still bent, but improving. "Let's try again," she whispers, almost smiling. She bends her knees just slightly, careful but confident. Her heels rise, her weight shifts forward, and she steadies herself. The air feels thicker around her, holding her in quiet balance. For a moment, she feels her heart beating faster. Then she exhales, slow and calm, letting the tension fall away. The movement flows easier today. Down, up, pause, breathe. Her breath and motion start to match, like a small dance. Her shoulders drop, her spine lengthens, her gaze lifts. She feels taller, lighter, almost like floating. The tightness in her legs begins to melt, little by little. Her feet root into the floor, grounding her in this moment. Her body remembers again, not pain but strength. She laughs softly at how simple it all is. Just bending and rising, nothing more. Yet inside, something begins to shift. Her pulse feels steady, her cheeks warm. Her breath feels like sunlight moving through her chest. Outside, the mist begins to lift, revealing a brighter morning. A bird lands on the windowsill, chirping once, as if in rhythm. Eleanor smiles at the sound, her body still moving in gentle waves. It feels like she's dancing with the light itself. Not fast, not perfect, but beautifully human. She pauses again, resting her palms against the chair. She can feel her blood pulsing softly beneath her skin. It's as if every small motion sends a message through her body. A reminder that she's still here, still strong, still capable. Her breath slows, and she stands upright, shoulders open. The morning feels clearer, wider, full of space. She looks at her hands, her legs, her reflection once more. There's a quiet pride in her chest, not loud, not boastful. Just a deep knowing that she's begun something good. When she finishes, she stays still for a moment longer. Her heart feels light, her knees steady beneath her. Outside, the garden glows with the soft promise of another day. Eleanor whispers to herself tomorrow, "I'll do it again." And she knows deep inside that this small act is changing her. The days begin to settle into a gentle rhythm. Morning light, soft music, and the quiet space by the chair. Eleanor now knows each sound of the room, the creak of the floor, the hum of the kettle. Her movements have grown smoother, less hesitant, more sure. She no longer counts the bends or checks the time. Her body guides her, slow and natural like waves finding shore. Today, as she moves, she begins to think deeper. What is really happening inside when she bends and rises? Why does such a small motion feel so alive? She listens to her breath, steady and calm. Each inhale feels like an invitation, each exhale a release. Her feet press against the floor, her toes spreading for balance. Her knees bend softly, not too deep, just enough to feel the weight shift. When she rises, her heels lift and her blood flows upward. She imagines her heart sending warmth through every vein. Her fingertips tingle faintly. Her face feels flushed with quiet energy. It's not about exercise anymore. It's about connection. Her mind and body are finally speaking the same language. She closes her eyes for a moment and listens inward. There's a pulse in her calves, a rhythm in her breath. She feels the life moving through her, strong and gentle, This is what her grandson meant, not strength, but flow. Movement that doesn't demand, but restores. She thinks about how, for years, she ignored her body's whispers. The stiffness, the fatigue, the ache she called getting old. Now she understands those were messages, not endings. Signals asking her to listen, to move, to care. Her knees bend again, slower this time, more mindful. She breathes in as she lowers, breathes out as she rises. A quiet balance forms, gravity below, air above, peace within. Her back straightens without force, her chest opens naturally. She smiles at the feeling of ease spreading through her spine. It feels like sunlight running through her bones. Her hands lift slightly from the chair, testing her steadiness. For a moment she stands freely, her balance sure and kind. There's no fear, only calm. No rush, only rhythm. Her eyes open, and she watches the morning deepen outside. The trees sway gently, their leaves glinting with gold. Even they seem to bend and rise in their own quiet dance. Eleanor laughs softly at the thought. Maybe everything alive moves this way, slow, patient, full of breath. She returns her hands to the chair, feeling gratitude in her palms. Her body feels awake, her heart steady. She whispers to herself, "This is more than stretching. It's remembering who I am when I move with care." And as the light fills the room, she feels a quiet truth settle within her. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it lives in the smallest, kindest motion of all. Weeks pass like soft ripples across a quiet pond. Eleanor's mornings now begin not with hesitation, but with purpose. The chair by the window has become her small sanctuary. Her body feels different, lighter, warmer, more awake. The stiffness that once clung to her joints has softened. Her steps carry a rhythm, her back stands straighter, her breath deeper. Each day she moves with more grace, more confidence. She doesn't rush the motion anymore. She listens to it, like listening to a song she loves. Down, up, breathe, release. The simple dance continues. Sometimes she hums while she moves, a quiet melody from her youth. It fills the room with a kind of gentle joy. She feels the music in her feet, in her heartbeat, in her breath. Her movements are no longer just physical. They are emotional, spiritual, a quiet celebration of still being here. One morning, she catches her reflection in the window. Her posture surprises her. Her shoulders no longer curve forward. Her neck stretches tall, her eyes glow softly. She tilts her head, smiling at this small transformation. It's not vanity, it's pride born from care. Her body has remembered something it once forgot. How to hold itself with dignity, with balance, with ease. Outside, the world feels brighter too. She begins walking more often, down the garden path. The stones no longer seem uneven beneath her feet. Her steps land steady, her legs strong. She notices things she once overlooked, the shimmer of dew, the hum of bees. Everything feels sharper, more alive. When she returns indoors, she does her stretches again. Not out of duty, but because she wants to. Because the movement feels like home. As days pass, she starts adding her favorite old records to the routine. The soft crackle of vinyl fills the air as she begins her bends. Her body sways with the rhythm, her laughter rises like sunlight. It's not perfect movement, her balance still wobbles sometimes. But it doesn't matter. She's learned that joy doesn't need perfection to exist. Each small motion carries gratitude. Each breath feels like a thank you, whispered to life itself. Her mornings have become her favorite part of the day. A quiet ritual of renewal and kindness. She finishes each session with her hands over her heart. Her palms feel the pulse beneath, steady, alive, constant. She stands still, breathing softly, feeling warmth flow from her knees to her toes. It's a simple exercise, yes, but also a quiet form of prayer. a moment of connection between body and soul. When she finally sits by the window again, the world feels gentle. Her reflection smiles back at her, calm, strong, and beautifully alive. And in that stillness, Eleanor understands. She hasn't just improved her posture or her balance. She's found her rhythm again, the rhythm of living fully, one gentle bend at a time. The morning air is crisp, carrying the scent of blooming jasmine. Eleanor walks slowly toward the community center, her step steady and sure. Inside, voices mingle with soft laughter and the hum of conversation. She's carrying a small thermos of tea and a folded towel in her bag. Today, she's decided to share something that changed her quietly. Her friends sit near the window, knitting, reading, sipping tea. They greet her with warm smiles and curious eyes. "You look radiant, Eleanor," one of them says, half teasing, half sincere. She laughs, her cheeks glowing. "Oh, I've been moving more," she replies. "Something simple, really, a stretch called knee-to-toe bends." They lean in, curious, asking her to show what she means. So she stands up, moves the chair aside, and takes her familiar stance. Her hands rest lightly on the backrest, her feet shoulder-width apart. She bends her knees slightly, then rises slowly onto her toes. The movement looks small, almost too easy. But the calm in her expression makes them watch in silence. She breathes deeply, moving with the same grace she's built over weeks. "See," she says softly, "just this, every day, a little movement, a little breath." Someone giggles and tries to imitate her. Another follows, nearly losing balance and laughing loudly. Soon, the room fills with a gentle rhythm of movement and joy. A small group of friends, moving together, learning together. Their chatter mixes with the sound of bending knees and careful laughter. Eleanor feels a warmth rise in her chest, a joy deeper than she expected. She never thought something so simple could bring people together. It's not about fitness or age, it's about connection. About choosing kindness toward one's own body. The group begins to meet every few mornings after that. They stretch, share stories, sip tea, and talk about their days. The quiet exercise becomes a ritual of friendship and renewal. Each person finds their own rhythm, their own balance. Some move slower, others add a little music. Eleanor always begins with her soft voice, guiding them through. Bend gently, breathe slowly, rise with a smile. There's peace in those words, a rhythm they all start to feel. The laughter grows easier, the silences more comfortable. Outside the windows, the sun filters through green leaves. It paints their moving figures with gold. They are no longer just exercising, they are living, fully present. When they finish, they clap softly, almost like a blessing. Eleanor looks at their faces and sees light, confidence, hope. Her heart fills with quiet gratitude. The stretch that once belonged to her mornings now belongs to many. As she walks home, she feels the rhythm of her steps sync with her breath. Her heart beats steady, her spirit calm. She knows she has given something beautiful, a gift of movement, of joy. And in return, she has received something even greater, connection that lasts. The morning sun spills across the wooden floor, soft and golden. Eleanor stands by the window again, her chair waiting, her tea steaming. The garden outside glows with quiet life, bees, blossoms drifting light. She has been practicing her knee-to-toe bends for months now. What began as curiosity has become a quiet promise to herself. Her body feels lighter, her breath steadier, her heart calmer. She moves without thinking, her rhythm as natural as morning itself. Down, breathe in. Up, breathe out. The movement flows like water, smooth and gentle. Her knees no longer creak, her balance no longer falters. She trusts her body again, the way it bends, the way it holds her. She has learned to listen to the whispers beneath her skin. Each pulse, each breath, a quiet message of gratitude. Today, she doesn't count the repetitions. She just moves softly, mindfully, present in each motion. The air hums around her, still and peaceful. Her thoughts wander to her friends at the community center. She imagines them bending and rising, laughing as they move. She smiles, feeling the shared rhythm even from afar. It's no longer just her story, it belongs to many now. A wave of gentle change carried by laughter and light. She thinks of her grandson, the one who first showed her the stretch. She can still hear his young voice saying, "Just try it, Grandma." And she's so glad she did. That small act of trying opened a door to renewal, a path that led her back to herself. Her reflection in the window no longer surprises her. She sees strength where there was once hesitation, peace where there was once pain. She bends again, this time slower, savoring the feeling. The blood flows warmly through her legs, up to her heart. It feels like the earth and sky are meeting inside her body. Balance, breath, and stillness, all existing at once. She remembers how afraid she once was of growing older, of losing her freedom, her movement, her spark. But this small exercise has taught her something sacred. That aging is not the end of motion, but the deepening of it. That stillness can be strength, and gentleness can be power. She straightens her spine and looks outside once more. The sun has risen higher, spilling over the rooftops. Her heart feels light, her spirit open. Every part of her feels connected, from her knees to her toes. She finishes the movement with her hands over her chest. The warmth of her heartbeat fills her palms. "Thank you," she whispers, though she doesn't say to whom. Perhaps to her body. Perhaps to life itself. She closes her eyes and breathes, feeling the calm settle deep. The world outside stirs with new sounds. Footsteps, birds, the hum of day. Eleanor smiles and whispers softly, "Let's begin again." And as she bends once more, the rhythm continues, gentle, alive, endless. The day drifts quietly toward evening. Golden light spills across the garden, soft as a sigh. Eleanor sits by the window once more, her tea cooling beside her. The world outside moves gently, as if breathing with her. She feels calm, grounded, whole. Her knees rest easy, her back straight, her spirit steady. The months of gentle practice have become more than movement. They've become a way of living, slow, patient, full of gratitude. She closes her eyes and listens to the steady rhythm of her breath. Each inhale feels like a beginning. Each exhale, a soft letting go. She thinks of her friends, of laughter and shared mornings. She thinks of her grandson and the gift of that first small lesson. Her heart warms with quiet joy. From knees to toes, from breath to heart, she feels alive. Not chasing youth, but embracing presence. Not rushing, just being. The light fades, but her smile remains. In the hush of twilight, Eleanor whispers to herself, "This is peace." And somewhere between motion and stillness, she finds it perfectly, completely her own.